Hello, hello, everybody. How is everybody doing? As you will see, I have the beautiful Deb Floros here with us tonight. We have my early birds. Tammy and Barbara are there first in line every single time. We got Chris. Oh, it's going to be fun. I hope everybody had a great weekend, and I hope this caps it off before you start your Monday through Friday gig. Where did my phone just go? I just heard it go off. Not that one. There it is. Okay, put that on recording mode so that doesn't happen. Elsie, I'm so glad you made it. Oh, yay. I replied to your comment, and so I was like, oh, I got to give her the schedule because you weren't catching it. But yeah, you just got to change the notification bell to off. Oh, wow. Look at who's joining us.
Hi.
Any names familiar?
Yeah, I see quite a few that I know. Hi, ladies.
Yeah. There's the Kaya. How are you guys? Miranda, Tina, Maisha's in the house. Xandra, Shirley. There's Miranda and Jenny.
Hi, Jenny.
And Jenny is Becky's sister.
I know. She says that.
Yeah, but no, because they work together now and it's fabulous.
I know. And they're a twosome to be feared. They are so fierce.
Exactly. And then we have Miss Linda from Gumnut. She's from Australia and she's wonderful. Funny and she just has the best sense of humor. And she makes the most incredible links. So she puts out a video with different metal links every week. They're so beautiful.
All right.
And if she showed me that wire work doesn't have to be difficult, doesn't have to be perfect, and you don't have to be scared to try it. So it's good. We've had fun. And then, so what have you been up to lately, Deb?
Well, today I've been pre-recording shows because I'm going on vacation in about a week. And so all the stuff has to get done in advance. So today I've changed my outfit about 5 times. And I did a few before I curled my hair and different colored lipstick. And so trying to switch it up because people are going to see these shows and I hope they don't realize, well, some of these people will know now that some of these shows were all done on the same afternoon on a Sunday.
Exactly. It's what we've got to do. Otherwise, there is no vacation because you're sitting there going, oh, is this going to get out? Is this going to get out? So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I take my vacation. So it's all getting done before I go, period. So I don't even have to think about it I'll still think about it, but I won't think about it in a stressed way.
Do you have any big, are you going to Tucson again this year?
Yes, I am starting the early planning phase now. So I'm excited.
Yeah, Cindy and I have talked about it too. And it's great because we just found out that my little scooter thing breaks down and can be put in the back seat of a car. So it seems to be more feasible now that I have that. So that's great.
That's great.
Maisha, vacation. What a beautiful word. Yes, it is.
It is a lovely word.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. I would love to know, when did you first make your first pair of jewelry? Like a pair of earrings, necklace, which was it?
My very first piece of jewelry I made was a necklace. And it was shortly after I moved to Connecticut. So I lived in Connecticut for about 10 years, starting in 2006. 2007, I think. And I was pretty new to the area, and I was driving around. Some people may have heard me tell this story before, but I was driving around, and I go down this road, and there's this quintessential New England little shopping center, and this building with a big sign on it said Beads, and I went, like two wheels on the car, like pulled into the parking lot. And there was a sign on the door, open beading night Tuesday nights, classes available. And it was closed at the time when I stopped. And I went in on a Tuesday night, and I had a handful of beads. They were beads from a broken necklace that I found at a consignment store. I walked in, and they taught me how to crimp, how to make a pendant out of a button. And that was it for me. Like, that was it. The necklace still resides with me here. And the friendships I made there, what I learned there, what I did there. And it just started, everything. And that necklace was pretty special.
Yeah. And for all of us, like now, I wish that I would have come to it like seriously when there were still classes, because I don't feel like there are anymore. And it's kind of a weird, like two sides of the same coin, because YouTube is convenient. We can watch it whenever we want. But what we lose is that one-on-one sitting at the table. Nope, this is what you're doing wrong. No, if you do it this way, it'll be easier. Oh, here are some tips and tricks. And so we miss a lot of that. I try to throw a lot of those in. Like, I use the box joint on my 6-step veil making pliers to work hard and stuff when I don't want to pull out my bench block and chasing hammer to do like the loop or like a little ear wire. No, not into it. So I like to give little tips and tricks all the time. And I love learning. And as I was saying, when we first started, there are enough facets for all of us in the jewelry world. And it is pun intended. Oh, it's next week. Thank you, Beth. Whew. So Beth, I thought the FOC projects, Found Objects Challenge, something that Randy Brown does. You paid $9.30 and she sends you a packet of beads and you make jewelry with it. You have to take a picture of everything in it. You only have to use one thing that's within the packet. And then you have to share 2 other pictures. And then there's a whole, there's a ducky race that we all get, and you win. And some of us, like me, I make mine more difficult, which is I try, not only do I do 2 a month, but I try outside of wire and like soft flex to use what's in the FOC and items I've gotten from Randy at Thunder Horse Descendants. So to make it a little bit more of a challenge, and I enjoy doing it, but I thought they were due tonight at midnight, and I was having a little freak out, like I'm going to be up and submitting at midnight. But yeah, so it's really fun. It's kind of like your guys' print. Randy's been doing it for several years. Hers is based on, I'm not going to remember the name though. A gentleman who wrote a book about Found Objects Challenge, talking about how you can find things to make jewelry out of anything and all of that kind of stuff. So it's based on that. We do it every month. It's a blast. And yeah, speaking of, are you still doing Crimped with Brittany?
Still are doing Crimped. We will be releasing episode 9 of season 2 Monday.
Oh, that's so great. Oh,
tomorrow.
I need to get back into that. It's so weird because when you go from behind the camera to in the front of the camera, you lose all your time to watch videos. And so I watch them in double speed, and people are like, why do you do that? Because I want to see as many of my friends' videos as I can. And if I watch them long scale, I
Yeah.
would never be able to do so. And I watch them while working on stuff. But yeah, it's fun. That's exciting. I love you guys. You guys are so funny. I love the way you guys like go back and forth. And I love what she seems to like to give you the hardest thing. And you repurpose some of the funniest like the pill bottle. What? That's still one of my favorite episodes. I love what you did with it. The rest of us, do you have it? You've got to show it.
It's
Yep.
a ring. It's
Yep.
a ring with a chopped up pill bottle in clay.
Yep. How you came up with that, I have no idea. If you
It
guys
was
have not watched her and Brittany Capers show Crimp, it's kind of like Chopped, but in the jewelry world. You've got to go check it out. Some of the stuff, like what they do with it, blows my mind sometimes. But yeah, it's a lot
yeah.
of fun. How
We've
did
been
you
a
guys
little
come up
easy.
with that?
We I don't remember what exactly got us there, but we talked about doing something collaboratively, and I remember we were sitting out in my dining room, and we just started talking about doing a talk show. That had been something I had wanted to do for a long time. I'm a talker, in case you don't know that. I'm a talker, so talk show was very appealing to me to talk about what we love to do, which is make jewelry. And so it is a talk show with the challenge element, which we talked about chopped, which then easily translated in jewelry making into crimped. So yeah.
And I love the history that you impart within it as well. And you guys teach a lot of things. Like I've learned so much from you guys. It's it's like Google University for jewelry. You guys share um different artisans that at like Brittany herself who make their own components and whatever else. And then you talk like Green Girl Studios and stuff like that. And it I learned something from you guys so much. I left off on probably the beginning of season one. So I've got to go back and catch up because
Yeah.
you guys have me rolling when you're together. And it also makes me laugh just a little bit that you guys live in the same town and do this virtually. Kind of like we're doing it virtually right now, but
We did the very first episode at her
yeah,
house.
Jared. Yeah.
And we had lighting challenges, and because she usually does her thing in a certain place in her house that's set up for one person. I mean, I can only sit right here because everything else is a disaster. So I can't fit another person in here where I've got all the lights and everything else. So it's just easier for us. Plus her schedule's more insane than mine. So it's easier for us to just do it from,
Well, that's the thing
an
within
hour
the
away.
jewel. Yeah, that's the thing in the jewelry world. Like, see, all of my beads are nicely displayed in glass bottles with cork lids, and then right here. And I've cleaned off my desk like every 3 days, and then it ends up in a tote. And then you go to find stuff in totes, and you start pulling it out, and it starts getting like added to again. It's a whole thing. I have what I call bead FOMO, and that is if I do not try every single bead that like strikes my creative mind, I'm gonna miss the best one, right? Where
Yeah, I
is Crim
understand
to
it.
watch? Like which channel is it
Um,
streamed on?
so it's on Facebook. I see Shirley. Hi, Shirley. So it's on Facebook, and it's called Crimped, a jewelry making series. There is a Facebook page and a Facebook group. Highly recommend you join us in the group.
Oh,
And
cool.
there
Because
is
I
one
watch it on
episode.
YouTube.
Well, Brittany will post it on her channel. Mine,
Gotcha.
so when she posts, then I post it onto one of my, it's on my channel, but it's on like a liked list versus
Oh,
just posted
gotcha.
on my channel.
Okay.
Um, and she's behind on posting, so there's still just part of season one on her channel.
That's
So
why I stopped seeing it. Okay. So then yes, go on the YouTube channel. It's just Crimped, right?
no, no,
Crimp?
it's not a YouTube channel. It's only
I'm
Brittany
sorry, a
posts
Facebook page.
on her channel.
Yeah.
But
Sorry, I
it's Facebook, and I know people hate Facebook, Elsie. I'm sorry, but that's where it is, and that's
yeah,
that's all we got right now. So
I know, right?
that's what we're doing. It could
It's
change.
worth it, Elsie. It's worth it, I promise. It's
Yeah.
the challenges and the education you get about the history of jewelry making is unlike anything I've seen before. I'm not gonna tell you, it was your guys' show that made me want to do this because as much as I learned from the two of you, I was like, if I start interviewing jewelry people about what I call their jewelry journey, it's going to be such an education for everybody because we just and also get to see the person behind the design aesthetic and see why it is they like a specific type of jewelry or whatever else. So, bead FOMO, fear of missing out. Fear of missing out is what FOMO stands for. So, yeah, I was like, she's like, I already have FOMO. Linda is hilarious. Don't talk about. She said, don't talk about anything too interesting.
So cute.
She's the best. Like she has the best sense of humor. I adore her. But yeah. So you took those classes and then what next? Like how did you was it just how long did you go to those classes and
It wasn't really classes as much as it was just sitting around and communing with other jewelry makers. And
okay.
I learned the basics. And then I actually was quickly the one in the shop that would be sent over to help people because I had a knack for putting things together. So if somebody would come in during the time that we were sitting back at our little table, they would send me over to help the new people, like help them put something together.
Yeah.
So that quickly became my thing. But the learning part of it was really, I don't know. I think I was just kind of a natural when it came to putting things together and the basic techniques. They would occasionally do classes, and I remember a friend and I, a friend that didn't go to the shop, but a friend I worked with, wanted to go take a class down in Mystic, Connecticut. So if you all know Mystic Pizza, the movie Mystic Pizza, Mystic, Connecticut was, and that
Where
pizza
that
place
was
is
filmed.
there. There was a bead shop there, which has been gone for a long time, but they had some cool classes. So I took a few down there, and a lot of what I did from there was pretty much self-taught. It was before YouTube is what it is now.
Right.
And I would catch a few things on YouTube or a few things on Facebook in its early days. But it was all kind of, sort of, figuring it out and, just kind of doing what I could do and slowly but surely having opportunity to try other things and other techniques.
Yeah. And I love that because I catch on to things pretty quickly. There are certain things I can't really seed beading is not for me. I could use 10 seed beads and there will be 100 flying across the room.
Mhm.
And so I use them as spacers, which I love. Oh, hi Jennifer. Hi
Jennifer.
Gloria. Glad you could join in. But yeah, there are things like that. I'm getting better at wire work a lot because of people like Linda who teach it. And break it down so it's not as difficult as what you think it would be.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of fun. What are some of your favorite techniques?
I would say my default is stringing. I would consider myself a master stringer.
You are indeed.
That is my my deep seated relationship with jewelry making. But I like to take that basic and take it up a level. And when I'm educating folks, I want to show them that it's not just stringing. That's
It's
such
not, it's
a
hard.
dirty statement. Like,
Yeah,
there are so many things that you can do with stringing that incorporates other techniques, wire wrapping and leather and you name it. So, but I love macrame. I love wire working. I have
yes.
been.
I might be your daughter, I swear. I'm on a stringing phase right now, and I always tell them you don't have to design the whole necklace. Design an inch at a time.
Hmm. Yeah,
It's very easy to do. I like to use multiple sizes of seed, the same seed bead in a piece. I love that. Stuff like that. But yeah, I knew macrame before I got back into jewelry, and I'm glad that I did because it's a lot easier to translate when you start on the higher end of it. But yeah, I love
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Leatherwork. Yeah. Some of your pieces, I'm like, how did she conceive that? You are you are like a master of the lucite flowers. The things I've seen you do with the lucite, the little like flower thing,
Like this,
I just love.
like this kind of thing.
Yes, I don't. How do you do that? It's so
Um,
pretty. See, I'm not good. The center drilled flowers always throw me for a loop, but then you do it and make it into a spacer, and I'm like, well, that's you could have figured that one out, Heather. Yes, see?
I don't know. I mean, flowers are one of my passions. So I don't know. There's so many flower beads now, and so many flower beads that have made a comeback. So, all those bellflower beads were popular, 15 years ago, and then they kind of went away, and now they're back. And all the companies are uncovering old new old stock, and the flowers have come back with a vengeance. So it's fun to
They
work with
have
those.
indeed. They have indeed, and I love them. I like to take three green bellflowers and stack them on top of each other. You got yourself a Christmas tree. Put
Amen.
a
Yeah.
put a star bead up, and yeah, yeah. See the lucite flowers and flower head pins. See,
Yeah, 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 Jennifer. I'm remembering some other things. I think I've done a
yeah,
lot more with flowers than I can actually remember.
yeah. Yours, I your citrus box was so much fun to design
Oh,
with.
thank
And
you.
then you got the friend mail with all of the other fruit beads, and I was like jealous.
Yeah, the box was really fun to work with. So Rachel Siegel does all of the coordination of that, and she's like me. She's a very organized, very like, let's get it all on a spreadsheet, and all of my corporate life paid off in advance of that. So yeah, that was a fun process, fun to do some interaction with them and pick out sizes and shapes and colors and finishes and all of that. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
the first time you went to Tucson, what was it like?
Um, I remember I walked into, so it was the To Be True Blue show before it was Colors of the Stone. And it's the big, like, artisan show at the casino now. And it used to be at a hotel. And I walked in and I made it, about, I don't know, 5 or 6 booths, and I just walked right outside and had to stand there and like fan myself. And I remember texting my husband saying, I'm totally overwhelmed. And
Yeah.
I learned that every year I will do that. Every year I walk in, I go through the first row or the first pass, and I'm already, it's like complete sensory overload, this,
Right.
except maybe smells. Like I don't really associate any smells, but the sights, the sounds, the feeling, it's just, it's every year I feel that sense of overwhelmed. And then I regroup, get a bottle of water, take a few breaths, and then it's over. Like then the overwhelmed is over. But I always experience that every year. Every year.
And you go with Brittany every year. I know Cindy's gone with you guys. Oh, you don't go with Brittany?
Not every year, no. I mean,
Oh,
we hang out, but I went for many years by myself, and I've traveled from Connecticut to do that. So
oh
I flew
wow.
out many years by myself, rented a car, went and hung out and just, communed with all the jewelry people. I don't, Brittany and I both go, but we don't hang out the entire time. So
Gotcha.
we might spend 2 or 3 days together, but it's not like we go together. We go in separate cars, we stay in separate places, all of that.
Oh, there you
So
go. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Because I want to go this next year, and that's kind of what I'm afraid of happening is that it is going to be like so overwhelming. But my husband will be with me, so thankfully for that. So
yeah.
I'll know. But do you recommend finding a place up there, or have you ever tried to do it just driving up?
I stay there. So
Gotcha.
I drive down, and I stay anywhere from 5 to 8 days, depending on what I've got to do down there. Um, and I've stayed at various places. Sometimes I stay at the casino, but it depends on what kind of deal I can get and how
Right?
much money I have to spend. But yeah, I stay. I used to drive back and forth in the early days because um, we had a second home in Arizona when we were living in Connecticut, and I was the last Phoenix exit off of I-10. So it's very easy for me to go up and down
Right.
I-10 to get there. But now it's an extra hour where I live.
Gotcha.
So to drive it every day, no can do. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and put up your link tree. This has the links for all of Deb's information, her YouTube channel, her Facebook. You do art beads as well, correct?
Mhm. Yeah, I'm part
I
of the
never
design
heard of
team.
Linktree before, and then I saw how it was, and I was like, I need to set one of those up for myself. Makes it so
Yeah.
much easier.
Yeah, it's an
But
easy way to just hand that over and say, find me in all these places.
yeah, so when you first started, were you like selling on Etsy? Were you doing it on like a group all by yourself?
When I first started, it was purely a hobby. And I worked in corporate America. I had a pretty intense corporate job. Um, so I worked anywhere from 50 to 80 hours a week for many years. So my jewelry making was like this much time. But I found
Like
myself,
therapy?
um, yeah, I found myself, a lot of people were asking me to make jewelry for them, and
Mhm.
people were encouraging me to get published, which I did. And then I was told you should sell your stuff, and so I did. I went and I opened an Etsy shop. I think I opened my Etsy shop in like 2009. And then I was also part of the first Amazon handmade release, which for many years I maintained both of those shops, but I found Amazon was a complete dud. So I left Amazon. I still have an Etsy page today, and it's an Etsy shop today, but It's sadly neglected by me. I haven't put new listings in there for probably 2 years.
Yeah.
So it's very neglected. It's something that I really, it's just kind of low on the totem pole right now, priority wise. But I didn't have as much time back in the day, but I somehow did it. I don't know how I did it when I was working all those hours, but I somehow did it. On the weekends, I found myself making, just pumping out the stuff and creating all the listings, which, would take another whole day. And so now I find myself less enthusiastic about that, because it's a lot of work to do the photography and the listing and all of that, so
Yeah. So if somebody wanted a dead Floros original, what would they have to do?
they can just message me. Like, just message
Love
me.
that.
I mean, a
Yes.
lot of what I sell now is because somebody will message me and say, is that available? The thing you posted today or yesterday, is that available? And that's how I make most of my sales, my jewelry sales now, which was a dream for me for so long, like to actually have someone like post something and have someone say, is that available? Can I get that?
Yeah.
That was the first time that happened. I was just like dancing around the
Right?
house. It was so great.
Exactly. I have to tell you, she is what she says she is. I promise you that. We happened to be in the same group chat, and I was like, "Is there anybody in Arizona?" And I all of a sudden had a friend request from Deb Floros in like 2.3 seconds, and I was sitting there like, did that just happen? Did this just happen? And she's been so encouraging and helpful to me. So if you think like there's no way it's that easy, it could be that easy because Deb's awesome. That's part
Mm,
of the Beading Besties that I love. I have a group chat for all 50 states
yeah.
and US territories. They're talking about doing away with group chats, which I hope not, because a lot of people in the jewelry world, the handmade jewelry world, um, we deal with chronic pain and autoimmune diseases and things like that. And beading allows us to converse and get together to like, even if it's virtually,
Yeah.
um, and that's something like you and Kelly, Becky, and a few others that aren't coming to my mind. I had 3 surgeries back to back to back, and you guys got me through that. Sarah Lovecraft. There we go. Yeah, you guys got me through that. You guys have got me through so many moments that you don't even know. And you
Mhm.
guys are exactly who you portray to be. What's up?
I'm cheating.
What are you cheating?
You're here, so I can come and ask you if you missed the comments.
Oh, which comment?
I think it was Elsie asked if you and Deb were both located in Arizona. I don't know where.
Yes. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
both here in Arizona. We live right across town. She's in the west side of town, and I'm on the east side of town. Or are you on the east side of town too?
I'm north.
Oh, you're in northern Phoenix?
I'm in Cave Creek.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're way out there. I'm in Mesa. So yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, now I know why you guys do crimped virtually then.
Yeah, it's a
And
it's a full it's a full hour for her to get here or me to get to her. So
yeah.
yeah, I mean that's not a big deal, but it's mostly just schedule stuff.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
but yes, LCD, and I should have never left Arizona. Yeah, Jenny was born and raised here. Jenny and Becky were born and raised here.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, you used to get mistletoe in Cave Creek, Guilty Bean.
Oh wow.
That's awesome. Yeah, but that's the part of Beading Besties that I love. That there is, and I remember in the beginning, because I had to set up all the chat, and people would, anybody else from the state, and nobody would really respond and whatever. And I've been able to like leave a lot of those group chats because they do have 3, 4 people that can just be right there. That's right, Melissa Shope. You're right here too in Apache Junction. Yes.
That's pretty out there too. But Apache Junction's pretty. I love Apache Junction.
Yes. Me too. There's a lot of really good things out there. But yeah, it's funny because I learned about Bernie Speeds through Brittany. She was on an episode talking about how that's where she used to go get like her African trade beads and stuff like that. And so yeah, I have gone down there and I've learned so much. He's like, why will you sit here and like he just got some lady's 50 plus year collection and we were going through it and sorting stuff and he's like, why are you down here? I'm like, I learned so much. There have been gemstones I'd never heard of that I only heard of because I help with that. There's a lot to learn from him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's been a lot of fun. That's how I got a lot of like my bead education was through sorting through those like huge buyouts that he does and then watching like different people's channels and whatever else. So
Yeah.
so do you have anything exciting coming up then?
Yeah, I have some things. Something that I can't talk about, but something that could be pretty huge if it actually happens. It's one of those things that I signed I signed a document that I can't share anything about it. So I mean, it's gotten to that stage, but if that happens, I'm pretty excited about that. But still plodding away on my weekly shows with Art Beats and still doing a weekly live for Beadaholique, who is going out of business, but they're just, they're continuing on with lives as long as they can. So still doing that and, whatever else comes my way.
Well, if it does work out and you want to come back and talk about it, of course, you are more than welcome to. I like helping people like Danielle's going to come on before she does her second bead release and stuff like that. And I just love getting the good news out there. The majority of us are women. I know we're not all. We have the fabulous Sam and Nile and stuff like that, and we adore them. But the majority of us are females. So if I can build up and bring light to fellow bead sisters happenings, I am more than happy to do so. But I also think like conversations like this are very important because they asked if that was available. I have sold the majority of my jewelry that way exactly. I either have a show or I'll put up an episode and I make something and somebody would, reach out and say, hey, is that for sale? So it's fun. Oh, look, did you see that?
Carolyn. Thank you, Carolyn. Oh, that's so sweet. I had fun with that project and I'm glad you did too.
So you're with Art Beads, JJB, anybody else? Chris, obviously, with you and Brittany, but
Beadaholique, I occasionally, do some other things, but those are my primary clients. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you've ever watched Inside the Actor's Studio.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I have I've modified it for the jewelry world. So, question number 1, what is your favorite gemstone?
My favorite gemstone is Amazonite.
Again, I swear I was separated from you at birthday, Deb. It just doesn't fit. I love it. I love all the aspects of it. Black and gold, Russian, the crystal, icy Amazonite. I love it all.
It's got so much versatility, and because it is kind of a multicolored stone, there's so many ways that you can use it. It makes it somewhat seasonless.
Yes,
And I like
exactly.
the Russian Amazonite too. The first Russian Amazonite I ever got was from. Have you ever been to Scott? You remember Scottsdale Bead Supply? The store.
Is
It was
that
a.
still a thing?
I think they're still trying to sell online. I'm not sure, but
Okay,
their
I'll have to check
store
that
that used
out.
to be in Scottsdale moved and then closed. But I bought my first Russian Amazonite on a visit out here when I didn't live out here while I was in Connecticut, and I still have a little bit of that strand because I absolutely love that stone. So it's
Yeah,
beautiful.
it's so beautiful. I just found pieces of a necklace that was all black and gold Amazonite, and I'm like, why did I not finish this? And so that's on my list of things to do on one of my. I do a live every Monday, every day, Monday through Friday as well in the morning,
I've
which is a
seen.
lot of fun. Yeah, it's so much fun. But yeah, Amazonite and Red Creek Jasper are like
Okay.
neck and neck for me for the same reason. You get golds and corals and reds, and then you
Yeah.
get, the deeper reds and the browns and blues. And
Gray.
Red Creek Jasper has such a spectrum of color that, much like Amazonite does as well, and people may or may only know them as like the blue green stone. And it's like there's so much more to Amazonite than that. So much more.
For sure. Yeah.
Do you have a least favorite gemstone? Is there one that you're just like, I could do without it?
Hmm. I mean, I can do anything with any stone. I can't think of anything I just like, that I don't like. Because even if someone were to throw it my way and say, can you work with this? I could. So, yeah, there's nothing I love gemstones. So I mean, I
Yeah.
even like the stuff that's, dyed and heavily faux, just
Yeah, right.
stone. I like that too.
Solar quartz, rainbow solar quartz. Yeah.
Yeah. Strawberry quartz. Yeah. All of that. I like all of it.
Exactly. I just had a big faux pas because I put up cherry quartz and I had said that it was natural because that's what Bernie said. And they're like, no, it's a composite. And what he meant was that it was that natural combination. It wasn't somebody that took something and just dyed it.
Yeah.
And so I had to explain myself for like the next 10 videos thereafter that, look, it wasn't, he didn't like lie to me. It was my mistake. It was whatever. But what turns you on creative, spiritually, and or emotionally?
Um, I think being here in the desert um, transforms me. So I was born and raised in California. I've lived in California, Colorado, Connecticut, and Arizona. And I've lived in Arizona twice, and then a little bit here and there in between. And when we made the decision to move back here, it changed me. It changed me in so many good ways. The climate here is good for me. The scenery, the wildlife, which I am surrounded by. If anybody follows my social media, you've probably seen some crazy animal pictures and videos. We get it all at my house. And just being around all of the desert things, it has changed the way I design. It has changed the way I feel physically and emotionally and spiritually. I am so in love with being here. I will never, you'll have to drag me out of here dead to get me out of here. I'm
Yeah.
never
Well,
leaving here.
and it's crazy because you look one direction, the sunset is like cotton candy, pink and blue, and then you turn around and it's fiery red and oranges and deep yellows. And like until my sister came out to visit, she said, I never really knew if that was like, were those the same two sunsets, but they really are. And, we can drive 2 hours this way, and we have Flagstaff with snow, trees, and wilderness, and all of that.
Yeah.
It's everything. You drive to the desert, you drive out, and the array of wildlife, the different things. Like, I'm a little ashamed to admit that it wasn't. I was born and raised here. I've only lived out of Arizona for less than 5 years. I just went to the Grand Canyon for the first time ever, like 3 years ago.
You got me beat. I've never been.
Girl, I am telling you, I have some pictures. There are like inside, and it looks like there are like two eyes. And I always say that's God's wife protecting his like masterpiece.
Yeah.
You will if you think you've been changed by Arizona, you need to go to you have to go to the Grand Canyon. I'm telling you, you will not, even if you just do like I did, which you walk up along the rim on one side and whatever else. It is, take your camera, you will be designing with those colors for 2 years straight. I promise you. You like it's
Yeah.
just it's amazing. So,
Yeah.
okay, well, what turns you off creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
I think it's toxic things, toxic people, toxic stuff. And I see it like not always necessarily directed at me, but I see people feel compelled to say nasty things to people for no apparent reason, like for what value, for what reason. And that hurts my heart. I mean, even if it's not towards me, if it's towards me, I'm of course upset by it, but
right.
But I also think why do people feel compelled to do that? So it's that toxic behavior, I mean, I just feel like if you don't like something, don't watch it.
Exactly.
And B, like, you know what? If you don't like something and you are watching it, just keep it to yourself. Like, it's not necessary to express that you don't like something or say something nasty to someone.
Yeah.
It's just.
And I completely agree with you. A couple of my like early friendships on here were literally like, Becky had a video where the focus kept going, and I'm like, I love these. I need to watch the rest, but it gave me a migraine. And she said it was the way you said it, Heather, that made me. And I adore her. I couldn't love her more. I will promote everything and anything that girl does. Now her sister as well. I'm like, but I understand what you mean. That's not toxicity or rudeness. That's hey, there's too much stuff on your bead mat. Can you? It was I wanted to keep watching, and she's not the only one that's happened with. It's been others, but again, there are ways to say things without being ugly and mean. Like you said, this is America. Do you know how many different channels are on YouTube?
Yeah.
Just the American ones are in the millions. So
I don't know why. I don't know why people, and you see it not just with jewelry, but with other things. Like people feel compelled to say something when all they need to do is just scroll. Keep scrolling. Exactly. If you don't like it, keep scrolling. It changes in about less than a second.
A nanosecond. Yeah, you'll be sent something else.
Why? It's just a waste.
I am the exact same way.
Energy. It's a waste. So, like. I mean, I spend a lot of time on social media because a lot of what I do is on social media. So I don't mind being there. And if I see something I don't like, I just keep scrolling. Like, so what? Whatever. Like, do your thing. I don't care. Like, It doesn't matter.
Exactly. I don't understand the
Yes.
point of it. It's that like, look at all the love we're getting on this topic. Everybody's like, yup.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the whole thing. Like, there's so much, like I said, when I say there's so many facets of the jewelry world, if you don't like what you're seeing, move along. Like, go
Yeah.
visit TikTok or whatever. Like, what is going on in your life that you will set aside time to be me?
Yeah.
What's
I
the
just,
point?
yeah, my default as a person is kindness and just trying to be happy, even through things that are really crappy sometimes. And
Yeah.
you know what? That is going to go a lot further than just having your default be mean and nasty
Yeah.
and grumpy all the time. Why? It's a waste. We only have this much time on this planet. People, let's have fun.
Exactly. But I will tell you that time and time again, I get and I have news. I have a really rare condition called Durkheim's disease that causes lipomas and pain and memory recall issues and all of these other things. And so when I want to learn a new skill, I literally have to do it 50 to 100 times. And then
Yeah.
even then, I will have to sometimes go back and watch the original video just to get it to click. So I'm like, what is going on in your life that this is more fulfilling for you than anything else? And so I'll tell you the couple of nasties I've gotten, I'm like, I'll pray for you. Hope you have a better day. Like because I just don't get it. But
Yeah.
I already asked you what your favorite technique in jewelry making was, and you listed a bunch of different ones, but you had to pick one, which would it be? Stringing?
Stringing. Yeah.
Yep.
Because it's so versatile and it does so many things. It's the foundation, I think. I mean, it's a foundation for me, maybe not for everybody else, because I think people logically think that you start there. But I
Yeah.
know a lot of people who started seed beading before they ever did any stringing. So for me, it's foundational, and it is how I've kind of built everything that I've done is starting there. And so if somebody said you can't do anything else, Deb, that's what I would do.
Yeah, I just did my first lariat necklace for the very first time. I thought that it was going to be so difficult, and it literally stemmed. My daughter sent me a text message bright and early that morning before my live saying, "I'm watching Land Before Time with my daughter is a full circus moment or a full circle moment. The only thing that would make it better if you were here." Because Land Before
Aw.
Time came out when I was a little girl. And so I had these I have these ocean jasper butterfly pendants, and I had them in two sizes.
Ooh,
And I
pretty.
just like I said it's the circle, the child moving out into the world away from mama, but they can always come back home. And I used like midnight blue, tiger eye, and some yellow jade. And like
Pretty.
this struck me immediately. And it was funny because I'm like, okay, I need to make sure the butterflies are facing the right way. Did I do this wrong? And everybody was like chiming in. And they were like, no, you're doing it right. I'm just going to be quiet. But I did it. And I did it live, which I had so much. I love the back and forth that you get going live. Nothing's like it because like I said, other than being right there in the room with somebody, going live is the best way because they can say, no, can you show that again? Oh, can you do this or whatever else? And
Yeah.
so I love doing lives. Let me tell you, it's fun. I
Yep.
used to do a bunch of different jewelry or different like recorded videos, and I haven't been doing them as much because I like going live. And because when I record it, I do it as if I am live anyways, because trying to figure out editing with like my memory recall is like a no-goer. So yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I asked this question because I know we all say it when we're working on stuff, but what is your favorite curse word?
Um, well, probably the one that I use the most is the S word.
Yeah.
I mean, but I've actually sworn off swearing many times. It's usually my Lent thing. Um,
Right.
and I've really worked hard because I never will use it. I'll never use it working with a client. I'll never use it on a
Right.
live. I would never do it on my own channel.
Yeah.
It's just not something that I want to do in any of
Right.
those settings. But outside of that, once the laptop closes or the phone goes off,
You're like,
you know, we spill
yeah,
stuff, we drop stuff, we
exactly.
break stuff, and that's usually when those words come, and that's sometimes the best way to express yourself.
Yeah, exactly. If money was not an object, what gemstone would you use for the countertops in your home?
I know
This
you
is
asked this
my
question.
favorite.
I know you asked this question, so I already had my answer, and that's Labradorite. I would do a full Labradorite, like everything, even my bathroom counter. I would do it all. My desk would be, I mean, it would all be Labradorite because there's something about that, that just ethereal vibe that stone gives off. And as a countertop, it would be amazing.
Well, yeah, because you get green flash, you get blue flash, you get orange flash, you get coral, you get purple, you get all these stunning different like facets of oh, it's so beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought for a second you were gonna say Amazonite because
No.
I could throw down with some Amazonite countertops, let me tell you. It would probably be black and gold because I like the variation, but
Yeah.
still.
Yeah.
Okay, what piece of jewelry that you've created is your least favorite, and which one is your most favorite?
That's a really, really, really hard question. Like least favorite, I have a lot of least favorites. I mean, over the years, you make stuff, and sometimes you make stuff under duress. Sometimes you make stuff and you don't have a choice of what you've got. Like, okay, Deb, make lemonade out of this. Um, and there are some times that I'm so unhappy with it because I just I couldn't make the lemonade.
Yeah,
So there's lots of the so I can't pinpoint one thing. There's a pile of it. I don't know where
yeah.
that pile is, but there's a pile of it. But my most
And some of the items I created last week. It's not
yeah.
like all
Oh
the
yeah.
way back until when we
Yeah.
first started. There's
So for me it was probably like 2 days ago. Yeah.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
but I mean truly I try to find joy in everything that I make and everything that I use. And I have a lot of favorites too, like a lot of favorites. And if you do watch Crimped episode 9, I will talk about a piece in a certain way. It will go along with the theme for the episode. One of my favorite pieces is in that conversation. But I mean, I have probably hundreds of favorite pieces, hundreds and hundreds, and they're everywhere. I mean, they're everywhere. They're in boxes. They're laying here next to me. They're everywhere. They're hanging. I mean, there's just I there are a lot of pieces that I really really love. And I may have made one yesterday. I mean, I may have made one today. I'll have favorites that override previous favorites because I have a hard time
Uh,
picking a favorite.
yeah, hold on. I'm trying to copy and paste your that group real quick. And it went back to something else. So I'm trying to, it brought up your link tree for some reason, and I'm trying to um there we go. Okay, that's the Facebook crimp thing, so you can go and check it out, guys. Like she said, it's a little bit behind being posted on YouTube, but you can go and watch the episodes within their Facebook group. You can
Yeah.
join their Facebook group.
Yeah.
It's a load of fun. It was easier for me to pop up close because I'm a member. So yes. Um, okay. And I know the beginning of it for me is hard, but if heaven exists, what do you want God to say when you reach those pearly gates?
Thank you for keeping, or thank you for continuing to try. Um, because there are times in your life you think, I am never going to get through this, or I'm never going to be able to accomplish that, or I'm never going to be able to repair this, or I'm never going to be able to whatever. And there are a lot of things I just keep trying at. And I think that's something we all have to do. Try being kind, try repairing relationships, try to be successful at whatever your job is, even if it's a tiny little success. And, in terms of making jewelry, don't just, take that thing and say, that's it. I'm not doing that ever again. Just keep trying. So that's what I'm hoping he'll say to me is thank you for continuing to try. And maybe some of the things by the time I get there will be things that I tried hard enough at to succeed and to repair and to be successful at.
That is probably my favorite answer I've ever gotten from that question. Because it's hard. Like
Yep.
it's hard when you deal with chronic pain and other things that you just sometimes it feels like you just keep getting your feet pulled out from underneath you.
Yeah.
And it's not easy to keep trying. And there
No.
are times when I've had people in my life, like my bead mama Beth, who's like, Heather, you'll fix it. It'll work. Like you can do it again. And a lot of times we do have to do things over and over and over again because it takes a while to learn any skill and not just for me, but for everybody. But yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I love that quote. I love that answer, Deb.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's probably
I just feel like everybody needs to do that and hear that, because trying doesn't mean like you have to do everything under the sun at this particular moment. Like you trying might mean just a little inkling of something to continue to try and achieve whatever it is. And it doesn't have to be all right now 100%. Like that's not even possible for everything.
no,
So
no, it's not. And that's the thing is like there's a lot of people who I try to encourage and I try to put out there, but I think I'm hardest on myself out of anybody else. And
of course.
we each need to show ourselves a little bit of grace and we need to realize that we deserve it, that, just because we didn't get it the first time, when we do get it, like when I get a phone call, my very favorite ones are because I would tell people like, oh, if you ever need anything, like people are like, oh, nobody in my life knows I make jewelry. Oh, I don't think I could sell it. Oh, da, da, da. So then I would be like, okay, if you can't do it yourself, and the first time was with posting a new fit photo, and I was like, if you aren't comfortable with it being your own post it down below so we can all see each other so we know who we can put a face with the name, whatever. And that was an extremely popular post. And then the next time it was with jewelry. And it
Yeah.
was like, post a finished piece of your jewelry. If you're not ready for it to be your post, put it in the comments.
Yeah.
And 9:30 at night one time I got a phone call and it was I just sold my first custom piece and I didn't think anybody would ever even wear my jewelry, let alone pay for it. And those are the best moments. Outside of my family, obviously, those are my best moments.
Yeah.
The best moments in the jewelry world for me is helping these ladies know that they're amazing, that their jewelry is gorgeous, that there are people who will like your jewelry. Like you said earlier, sometimes you might get something that you don't like,
Yeah.
but there's a reason why you got that stone. And somebody's going to see it and go, oh my, I've been looking for something like that.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so just keep it up. We are our own worst critics. You're absolutely right. And
Amen.
I
Yes.
think that's more so apparent for females than it is men. I
Oh,
think
yes.
that we're hard on ourselves as people, as mothers, as sisters, as whatever field we're in, whatever. And jewelry is my therapy. It is. It's what I focus on so I don't focus on how much pain I'm in. And
Yeah.
I'm not the only one. I get those messages all the time. And it is a fact of our lives. But without jewelry, I don't know where I'd without making jewelry,
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
where I'd be. And I can
Yeah.
tell you it's funny because a quick story, I was macrameing and crocheting a lot. And then all of a sudden I couldn't do either. My hands would hurt, my wrists would hurt. I couldn't do it for 5 minutes even.
Mm.
It would be
No.
so painful. But then I picked up jewelry that seems to have a lot of the same motion you would
Yeah.
think, and I was able to do it. And I joined some beading groups and whatever else. And then I lost my mom, my dad, my aunt, my little brother, my little sister in less than 3 years. And had I not been part of the jewelry community, I don't know how I would have gotten through that. It was one of the most difficult. And I can macrame and crochet up a storm now. I just think it was God's way of saying, you need to be part of this community for that season of life. And then I was diagnosed with Durkheim's disease at the same time, and it was
Mhm.
scary and everything else. And this
Yeah.
jewelry world, and you're one of them. I cannot tell you how much that meant to me when I was like, if any of you guys are in Arizona, let me know. And all of a sudden, I have Deb Floros in my friend request. And I was like, that's amazing. And it's crazy because I have had that with Brittany. I've had it with Sarah. I've had it with Randy. I've had it with all of these different people. And at first it was like I thought about this show for a long time before I actually did it. And I was like, nope, I'm gonna do it. And it's crazy because most people that like I asked Brittany, she's like, yeah, sure, sounds like fun. I'll be on. I'm like, what dates you have available? I'm like, well, I don't have a guest this weekend, but don't worry about that. I can do Sunday. It was like 3 days before. And I was like, oh, Brittany Chambers just said, yes, she'll be on my show. And yes, she'll be on my show in 3 days. And so when the people that I see on here that are like hesitant or what are known as lurkers, they don't comment, they don't whatever, know that we are more than ready to receive you, more than ready. So, and I have met far more beautiful people, soul inside and out, than I have anything else within this world. So, if there are any of you guys that are new, I hope you hear me. I hope you hear Deb. We're here for you. We're ready for you. And I just, I don't know. I couldn't be happier. Any final thoughts, or do you have any other news? Well, you might, but you can't talk about it yet. But any last thoughts, my dear?
I would just say, given some of the things that you've said and some of the things that you've said to the folks that are watching is, you know, just jewelry making is supposed to be fun. Even though some things might be challenging, but never, see it as something that you can't achieve and you can't do. And One of the things that I struggle with is when people ask questions like, can I make that with Amazonite? Can I make that with, Red Creek Jasper? Try it. And so what I always tell people is try it. So jewelry making is one of the crafts or one of the things that you can do that you can undo really easily. So
Exactly.
try it. And if you don't like it, you try it a different way. And I just think trying is really important in anyone's journey. And whether it's trying a different stone or trying a different technique or trying a different tool or trying to watch someone else's channel. I mean, whatever it is, I think you have to just give yourself some grace. Kind of goes along with the, keep trying. Keep trying. Keep trying.
Exactly. It's good. And you guys, if any of you ever wanted to be on, all you would have to do is reach out. You don't need to be a content creator in order to be a guest. I would love to have you on, showcase your jewelry. Oh, that's one thing. Was there any jewelry of yours that you wanted to show off real quick? She's a master, you guys. So she's probably done it all, but.
Well, I'll share just a few things. This is a snake bracelet. One of the things I love making, it's a check glass snake head, and then using some check glass daggers. These happen to be two hole daggers. So he connects by his tongue. So that's something I do.
Awesome.
And this was a piece I made last year in Tucson with Sam's Bead Shop. So live with Rachel. Some of you may have seen that live, but this piece I usually have hanging in my studio because it's just the beads are just so delightful and pretty, but there's some flowers. You guys remember my flowers. There's some flowers and there's some hearts in there too. And
what are the hearts made of?
I don't remember what those are, but they're gorgeous. And I remember
moonstone. I just they're mixed moonstone hearts. I have some. I put one of them up and I put beads with it. But yeah, I remember those.
So this is like a lot of what I do. I know is off the beaten path. I know it's not for everybody, but I just keep doing what makes me feel good, what I like to make. Here's a little something I made with all Raven's Journey check glass. This was an art beads piece that I made for one of my shows. It's memory wire, but it's so like boho chic and cool. So it doesn't have to be hard.
I love all the colors.
It doesn't have to be hard. I love, where'd that other one go? I don't know where the other one went. It's on the floor somewhere. I love upcycling, recycling. That's another thing I didn't mention earlier, but this is a 2-hole slider bead. It's wood. It's from a belt. And I made this for a show. I've been participating in a group called Cool to Craft. And they are also on YouTube. It's Cool, the number 2, and Craft. They do a Wednesday show on YouTube, a pajama party. And I did this design and something else with 2-hole sliders. And I'll just show you a couple more things. These are like assemblage pieces that I made that are wild and crazy with a little bit of something for the Southwest. There's a little cowboy hat charm.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful.
So I love to put like little trinkets and things together. That's another thing I love to do. And then for my one of my art bead shows a while back, I jumped in on the charm necklace thing. Which way is this guy going? So this one's got all kinds of fun goodies, including this Anne Gardan enameled copper piece, and then a couple of others that have just so many fun pieces and parts. So, I mean, I do a little bit of everything, and I love everything, most everything that I make, but some weird stuff, some snake stuff and other weird stuff.
But you have to know that you have given me permission more often than not to try it. Like you just said, put it together. If it doesn't turn out, like you said, it's not like crocheting or knitting where like you have to undo 3 skeins of yarn if it doesn't turn out. You can take apart an entire necklace like that and
Yeah.
repurpose the beads. And
Yeah.
I encourage everybody to have a jewelry journal so that they can go back and see. So on the days that they're down and like, maybe I'm just not good at this, or maybe they can like flip back to earlier that year or 2 years ago, whatever, and have a physical representation of when, like, look how far I've come.
Yeah.
So we can do it. But yes, I love it. Yes, I'm gonna say Tia Mitori. My daughter's name is Jerica. So spelled like Jericho, but with an A. But yeah, I agree that upcycling is fun. I will often, my biggest goal is to get a beading machine, a bead making machine, because my husband works in construction and he'll like call me and show me brand new countertops that people, they just moved into the house, it was just built, but they take it apart and redo and I'm like, do you know how many beads that would make? Do you know just how many granite and marble and quartz and whatever? Like, that would be my dream, to be able to get all of those, maybe even wood for the cabinets, whichever, just so that stuff stops ending up in a landfill. And
Yeah.
instead, we're enjoying it like, oh my God, you see my new beads? So much better use for that. So that's like my top thing. But Elsie, I hope you do. I really hope you do, because it really is for you to flip back and see how far you've come in the last week, in the last month, whichever it is. I also use mine to keep little notes. So if it takes this much wire and this gauge to create a specific link, I make a notation of that just so I know and I don't have to start over again. But I tell all of my followers, when we say like it's better to have a little too much than a little too less, I explain like that's not us being wasteful, because it's better to waste an inch than it is to start it, realize it's not enough wire, put it to the side and pull out another length of wire. The first wire that gets ruined, like wasted. So it's actually less wasteful for us to have to make some more. But yes, if you look at real cool you made last year, real close, you'll see it. Yep. Exactly. Aw. Anyways, I so appreciate you coming on, Deb. Like I said, anytime it's an open invitation, you can reach on out. I'm so excited to have had you on. It's been a blast. Um, and I truly appreciate it. At the end of all of my videos, I say what?
Tia Florida. Her name is Shawnette. That's her 3 kids' name put together.
Oh,
But you
Shawnette.
should announce that to everybody so that everybody knows.
Oh, okay. So that her name is Shawnette. Her handle is her 3 kids. That's cute.
Oh, that's very
Yes,
cute.
I get it. We have the same thing. Anyways, at the end
Thank
of
you
all
for
my
having
shows,
me.
I always say happy beading and kiss them off, and we go from there. So if you wouldn't mind joining me, happy beading, everybody.